And I'm Big Papa Timo, the mid-lunch crisis. Tired, tired. As always, my sleep schedule's reversed again, which, always sucks. It's about par for the course for us.
All right, so we're not going to do the intro again, but you guys get the point. Who do we have in chat here? We have Devontae coming in early with Oreos for the wait. We have Charles Stubbs coming in. Galaxy Neil, how's it going?
How's everybody doing?
Yeah. All right, so I need to ditch this because that was plugged into the wrong controller anyway.
Don't.
Okay. All right. Can everybody hear me just fine?
I can hear you just fine.
Everybody hear Big Papa Timo? So we are playing some farming simulator on the mining and construction map. How do you remember?
1.5 mil. Nice.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
So my gold processor's going again. Oh, and it's almost full. As is our tailings. Did I freeze again here? Of course I did. Charles has us crystal clear.
Nice.
So anything new in the Timo household there? Ooh,
No, not really. Same old, same old.
crashing into
Quarantined as usual. I really don't have to report. Kind of boring, which I know. Well, sorry about that, but
Now, are any of the recent openings affecting you? As far as
No, not yet.
no.
Not yet. The unfortunate thing is, even though a lot of things are in the process of opening, per se, the all the events that were canceled still canceled.
Yeah.
They're not going to be rescheduled if they weren't already rescheduled. So, um, unfortunately, a lot of my business is just done and gone for the year, never to return. Much as it pains me to say, it's just one of those, so be it.
Yeah.
Nothing to be done about it.
So how's everybody else doing? Devontae, I haven't heard from you in a little bit. I had all intentions on working on my bikes this weekend,
Yeah.
and Mother Nature told me to stay inside. She made it very cold, and my garage is not heated.
Tell you what, my teammate in this game is an absolute freaking moron.
That's funny because I'm not playing Apex. I'm currently getting conveyors in order to move some sand and gravel here. Not processing gold. Because that still says it's full. Sorry guys, I had to exit out and go back into the map. Unfortunately, there's something wrong with the gold trigger that once it's full, it doesn't reset. Have I used the Torno log loader for logging on PC? No, I haven't. I actually don't do much logging. That was Timo's bag.
That was no fun.
No bueno.
At all. So I've been playing a lot of SnowRunner recently.
SnowRunner. You know, I think I saw that come across my notifications, and I was curious as to what that is.
It's very similar to Mud Runner. Go figure.
Yeah.
It's a driving game, like an off-road game. You got to go around and use different vehicles and gather supplies and take them different places, drop them off for different missions, and like it's pretty interesting. It's very different from what I'm used to.
Yeah.
It's a fun one. So we had some snow.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. So I was sitting here yesterday morning waiting for the sun to come up, and like I said, I wanted to work on the bikes, and I actually have to work on my wife's car. And as the sun come up, I looked out the window, and it was snowing pretty hard. I was like, yeah, that's just not going to happen today. Guess it's not supposed to warm up till the end of the week.
I don't know. It was a whopping 27 degrees yesterday, and it's 50 today. So that's
Well,
almost double the temperature.
yeah.
It actually felt quite nice this morning. Oh, my friend's had a new baby. Awesome. Makes the two babies for him. Awesome. Awesome.
So work is quite different now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Is
have.
that because they like shut roads off for you guys and everything?
No, just the kind of the like we obviously we have to wear masks anytime we go into the employee room. Um, I'd mentioned that they had a couple jobs approved prior to reopening.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is for Amazon, and there's actually a guy. His only job is to walk around the site and make sure everybody's wearing their masks. Even outside, they have to be wearing masks.
Okay.
And um, we actually had a guy. All he did was reach under his mask to scratch his face, and he kicked him off the job site.
Interesting.
We also had a guy quit he'd been there quite a few years. Um, he quit because he didn't want to wear a mask.
So be it. You know, if they want to quit because they don't want to wear it, let them go.
Yeah, I mean it was surprising.
Now, there's plenty of people out there that just don't understand and don't get it. They still think the big thing because it hasn't. It
Hasn't
hasn't affected them. It hasn't
Yeah.
gotten to their area. And when you see different people that are constantly flaunting that, uh, again, not to get into political discussions or anything else like that, but when your public officials don't show respect for these things, like going to the Mayo Clinic without wearing a mask,
Yeah.
and everything else like that. And they're like, oh, well, we're tested every day and we're perfectly fine. Well, you know what? Look at the last 2 days. What's come out on that one? While those particular individuals may in fact be perfectly fine, their inner circle of people is rapidly showing
Yeah.
that regardless of whatever protections you take, somebody's going to be exposed to
It
this.
was Biden's personal assistant got it. I think it was the last one I saw.
Vice
Or
President
Pence.
Pence's,
Yeah, Pence, not Biden.
yeah, this is the guy in charge of the nation's response to this, and his personal assistant test positive. So what do? They put him on Air Force Two and fly him the hell away from the president,
Yep.
which is what they're supposed to do. So you separate the two of them. That way, separation of powers, so that in case something catastrophic does happen, don't get them both at once.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I remember with 9/11, they separated Bush and Dick Cheney. And with Clinton and Gore, they separated them with was it the World Trade Tower bombing, the second World Trade Tower bombing?
Um, I don't remember.
I think it was the second one because the first one was
Bush.
those might have both been during Bush.
Yeah.
Because that was 89 and 92, I believe, something like that. But so yeah, it's you got to be careful and stuff. But it just goes to show you that even the super rich elite are not immune. They're not immune. And if you flaunt it long enough, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. But hey, it's never gonna happen to me.
Until it does.
Till it does. And you and I had this discussion early on because you live in a much more rural area than I do. You're up in a yellow county,
Yeah.
where I'm still in a red county. But then again, Cambria County's got 40 new cases. We went from 2 cases to 7 cases to 40 real quick. Plus we've got the hospital right here where they have an entire ward of COVID patients. Um, yeah, it's getting squirrely. It's getting squirrely.
Yeah, it's I had to go to the store yesterday to get things for my lunch and stuff this week, and it was completely insane.
Hmm.
Uh,
Oh, just wait till next week. So Stacy came home from work the other day, and they had a store meeting because things are about to get bad through the grocery stores. And what I mean by that is the food supply chain is starting to break down.
yes.
The supply chain is starting to show its weaknesses. The first one being that meat processing plants are shutting down rapidly because they have huge prevalence of positive cases. You have a ton of people working in real close proximity to each other for very long extended periods of time. Not the best healthcare in those areas and everything else like that. These people are getting sick, and it's had its effects. So they're shutting down. The farmers are looking at shutting down. They're looking at, like the pig farms in Minnesota. Um, they're looking at euthanizing and destroying thousands upon thousands of livestock because they have no place to send them, and they can't afford to feed them if they've got no slaughterhouse to send them to.
Yeah.
So next week, when the price of beef suddenly goes from ground beef right now is 4.99 in our area. Next week, it's probably going to be 8.99. It's going to double in price in 7 days because it's going to get that much harder to get. That's the point at which the fit hits the shan, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
When people, and those prices are not going to be just in cities. Up by you where you guys have very little exposure to this, and suddenly you can't get ground beef. Or if you can, it's twice the price that it was right now, which is twice the price that it was 2 weeks ago. You know,
Yeah.
when bananas, since I've been a little kid, I remember when bananas were 9 cents a pound, and I remember the big stink to do when they went to 19 cents a pound, and then they went to 29 cents a pound. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, the prices of banana, 30 cents a pound for bananas." And now they're 39 cents a pound. Oh my God, 40 cents a pound. So that's 4 times the price of what it was when I was a kid. That's 10 cents per 10 years. That's a penny a year the price is going up. That's nothing.
Yeah.
But if the price of bananas are 2.99 a pound next week,
Yeah. Now there's an issue.
yeah, everybody's going to be like, I can't afford bananas anymore. Plus, you've got people that are already stretched to the limit on what they could or could not afford.
And that's
So,
there is a I'll say there's a little bit of good news on the horizon. There could be. Let me rephrase that. There could be. I've been following pretty closely the what little information we can get on the second stimulus package. Which, well, the second round of stimulus checks would be the fourth stimulus package.
mhm.
Um, and they know the economy is tanking. Uh, the Fed chairman came out, I believe Friday, and said and basically told Congress, "You're only going to get one shot at this. Whatever you decide to do, go big." The Fed futures actually went negative,
Mhm.
which has never happened. Um, some of the proposals right now are pretty promising. Democrats in the House or the Senate, I'm sorry, proposed a bill that would pay uh, just about every person There are a couple exceptions, but nothing like the first round. But it would pay every person $2,000 a month, and it would be retroactive back to March. So if that one were to pass, you would be, families of four would be looking at checks for $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in the house right now that's $2,000 a month until the state of emergency is over, and then $1,000 a month for a year after that. As for anybody over the age of 16, plus $500 for up to 2 children and $1,500 for 3 children. There's a couple more that are along those same lines, but whatever they do, it's going to be bigger than the first one.
Well, it better be, because the first one only reached 50% of the population.
Well,
And
yeah,
out of that 50% of the population, it's only reached a quarter of them so far. That's 12.5% of the United States population has received some form of a stimulus check at this point in time. That's nothing.
yeah,
So unless they do it that everybody gets it, everybody's available, it's available immediately. Because here's the other thing. They keep talking about doing all this stuff. You still have the first stimulus checks that were supposed to go out. Some people are not scheduled to get theirs until August,
yeah.
still at this point in time. They're going to be dead by August.
Well,
They're going to be starved by August.
and one of the proposals uh, included, instead of direct depositing or mailing checks, um, it would be put on a debit card,
Mm-hmm.
and basically you could go. They were going to set up local, basically, like you go to your local polling station wherever you go to vote,
Mm-hmm.
and you could pick up your debit card there. That way, you didn't have to wait. And also, that would eliminate you not getting your money for various reasons.
That causes a lot of its own problems in and of itself. Now, one of the other big problems you have right off the bat is the logistics of providing, one, all of those debit cards, two, the infrastructure and support system to distribute them to the population, three, the information of telling everybody how to get it, where to go, and everything else like that. That's extremely problematic.
Yes.
And then you've got to worry about the fraud and theft of it. So you've basically got to prove at that point in time. So like, say they're going to do the everyone over the age of 16. All right, so there are 2 members of my household that have no form of photo ID that are over the age of 16. How do they prove who they are?
That's a good question.
Okay, so I can bring their social security card and their birth certificate, and I can vouch for them as their parent, but I can't prove that Colin and Shannon are who they are. So there's a logistical error. So when I go across the street, which is where our polling place is, and I have to be surrounded by the 2,500 other people who are supposed to be social distancing. Now, granted, like, say, just using a polling place as an example, it's literally 150 feet from my front door. Right across the street from my house is where my polling place is, which is really convenient for voting.
Yeah.
But that literally means that there are going to be 2,500 people who utilize that one polling place to do that. Now, that's just assuming registered voters, not even full households above the age of 16. So you've suddenly got 5,000 people trying to get into that one building right across the street from my house. That is a huge problem for social distancing. What are they going to do? Line them all up? That's
Yeah.
going to be a 2-mile long line. So
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. I hope they get it. I'm actually reading an article as we speak on the $2 trillion stimulus package that they're talking about with this particular one. Um,
It'll.
for the 2K per person per month type of thing. Distribution of that is problematic. But then again, like you said, you've got to do a debit card for each one of those people. So that's 5 individuals in my household that are supposed to get it. So they have to make 5 individual debit cards for
Yeah.
us. That's 10 grand right there. Ooh, that's a lot of money. That's good. Um, but also, what are these people going to do with the money? Are they going to use it responsibly? Is that gonna? I mean, that's really not the big question because people are not going to have much choice but to use it responsibly. Other than let's take online gaming,
Yeah.
something that both you and I do. So revenues from online gaming are up almost 2,000% right now from what they were just last month. Within the last 30 days, the 30 days prior. That's all during quarantine.
Well, that's
You
because
know,
people don't have anything else to do.
people don't have anything else to do, but they're still not going to have anything else to do. Now, you start to have, like I was touching on before, the breakdown of the supply chain. So food supplies start to get scarce. Now you've got a bunch of people with money in their pocket
And nothing to spend
and
it on.
really expensive food.
Yeah.
So they're all going to go out and start hoarding food again. We're going to have the whole toilet paper hoarding thing all over again.
Yeah.
But you're also going to have a huge increase in crime because all you really have to do at that point in time is go rob somebody for their debit card, and you just made 2 grand.
Yeah.
Or, $2,000 a month for the last 3 months. That's 6 grand per person for my household. That's $30,000. That's a decent amount of money. But then you have all these people are going to spend all this money. So my other big question is in say 2 months, say everything actually starts to die down, social distancing works, Corona goes into remission, we can get back to normal and everything, and the government drops all their restrictions and everybody's allowed to suddenly go back to work. Guess what happens at that point in time? Your cable company, your electric company, your utility companies, your landlord, everybody that hasn't been paid suddenly wants to get paid because they know everybody's got all this money. But they still don't have that money because they spent it on other things. So
Yeah.
you're going to have a huge rash of evictions, foreclosures, massive debt, and everything else like that. It's just going to be a wreck,
Well,
no
that,
matter how
yeah.
you look at it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how you look at it. There's no good solution to the stimulus money. Uh, there's no good outcome for the economy. I mean, it's foobarred at this point.
Yeah. Now, see, I'm not even really worried about the economy per se. Economic recovery at this point, the longer this goes on, the longer our point of recession goes on. So, you take examples of like the Great Depression, uh, you know, with the events leading up to that and everything, made that particular event last longer than it did. So the longer we have going on here, thank you for the Oreos, Devante. Appreciate it, buddy. Sorry to be talking about subjects here. The longer this goes on, the longer our economic recovery takes. So at this point in time, we're looking at a minimum of 18 to 24 months for economic recovery. That's if everything went back to normal right now. It's not going to go back to normal. We've already had, all these state closures are going on through the beginning of June, another
Hmm.
3 to 4 weeks. That adds another 12 months. So now you're talking 12 to 36 months for economic recovery. If it goes on another 4 weeks, you add another year. Basically, every week of this adds another 3 months to economic recovery.
But
That's brutal.
and that's kind of to put it bluntly. I mean, that's basically what the stimulus package is for. Most of the lawmakers don't really care whether you buy food or not. Um, the point is to keep you spending money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't really care what you spend it on, as long as you are spending it and fueling the economy. Because what we don't want to happen is for people to stop spending money. If people run out of money, then there is no economic recovery.
No, that's very, very true. Now here's one of the other big issues that I have a problem with here. You're going to have at the end of this, you're going to have so many people so desperate for work that you're going to have a downturn in the general pay of people. People are going to take the same jobs at less money after this because the employers and the companies are going to take full advantage of this.
Oh yeah,
They already are. Um, again, not to get political or anything, but when you have a government that puts out a stimulus program that is so abused right off the bat that um, the largest quote unquote small businesses get 80% of the recovery money going after there, and you get churches that qualify for payroll protection program money. You know, this is coming from me as a former Catholic. The Catholic Church, 75% of the Catholic churches in the United States applied for the PPP programs. 75% of those that applied got money. These are institutions that, one, don't pay taxes, two, don't generate any revenue. Now, granted, churches do in fact do some good, whether it's outreach programs, homeless shelters, um, food banks, all these other things. I get that, but that's not what those programs were for. But they got the money, and they're never going to have to pay it back.
yeah.
And that in turn screwed over a bunch of small businesses. So one of the funny things that happened, this is not really funny, but I thought it was funny, and the guy that it happened to thought it was funny. So you and I have been talking about all the different things that my business would possibly uh, qualify for.
Yeah.
So when the PPP came out and the EIDL came out and all the other programs for small businesses, I put in my applications. I was pretty much denied right off the bat, and I was told that my business either didn't qualify or I had a 0% chance of getting anything other than a 24.9% interest loan for the small business. That was horseshit. Excuse my language. My one buddy filed for the PPP and got it. You know how much money he got? Now, this is a guy that does $250,000 a year in taxable sales.
How
He
many?
got $140. 140. That was the PPP loan that they got.
Now,
A 1% interest loan with a guaranteed forgiveness after 24 months or whatever the heck it came out to. $140. Now, this is a company that actually employs 5 individuals in 3 different states.
see, and here's my problem with that. In the language, now this is where basically the SBC uh, took it upon themselves to basically not follow the law. But you were supposed to get a grant. Every application, no matter whether it was approved or not, was supposed to get an upfront grant for $1,000 per employee under the PPP. That was, like I said, that was whether your application was approved or denied, didn't matter. You were, as soon as your application was submitted, the SBC was supposed to give you $1,000 per employee as a grant,
Hmm.
and they didn't.
No, they did not, and I'll tell you why. You said the magic word, employee.
Even well, under the see, and that's the thing. Under the wording of the bill, you are an employee of your company, even the owner.
That's the thing, though.
It,
I'm not. I'm not an employee. As the owner of the business, I do not qualify under the legal definitions of Pennsylvania-based businesses as an employee.
we're not talking about the Pennsylvania definition. It is specifically in the wording that of the bill that as the owner you qualified for the grant.
Okay.
This was all the SBC basically trying to hoard the money, give it to big business instead of small business, and Congress called them out on their shit, as did a bunch of media outlets, uh, because not only, in addition to that, in the wording of the bill, the limit for loans was $2 million. That was the max loan you could get.
Hmm.
Uh, the SBC immediately came out and publicly said the limit was $50,000. And the basically every CNN, Fox, all the fake media companies basically came out and said, "Hey, that's not right." So what the SBC did was internally they issued a memo saying that they upped the limit from 50 to 150, but they weren't allowed to tell anybody.
Hmm. Andrew also brings up another valid point right there. Yes, I do as the owner of a business so long as I log my hours and pay myself accordingly. 95% of all small business owners don't do either of those.
Well, you have to do some. You have to do something along those lines for tax purposes.
No, you don't. Not at all. Not as a sole proprietorship, not as a married partnership. Nope. I don't have to log any hours
But
and
you
I don't
do.
have to pay myself anything. That's you would actually have to register some form of a payroll and pay payroll taxes at that point, which is why most of us don't do it.
So,
That is an accounting nightmare right off the bat. If you have just one person running a business, they're not going to log their hours because that becomes taxable income at that point in time. I guarantee you that any small business like that, and I know a lot of them that do it, and that are small single sole proprietor businesses, landscapers and stuff like that. The only way that they ever log their hours is if they're doing billable hours. Well, I don't do billable hours. That's something that the nature of my business just doesn't do. It
so,
costs too much. There you go, Dave Monte.
so how do you take money out of your business?
Personally, I don't. See, I don't actually draw any form of pay from my business. Now, a lot of my expenses are covered, but then again, my business actually operates at a loss. If you look at my taxes, my business operates at a loss. It costs me more money per year to run my business than I bring in. But that's because I'm constantly expanding my business. I'll give you a prime example, the laser that I purchased. It's a $10,000 business expense.
Hmm.
So I made that purchase before I actually had $10,000 in revenue for that year. So that was something that I foot the bill personally for. A lot of it. So like some of the business expenses that were, now I got to be real careful with what I say. online here. Um, let's take fuel expenses. So fueling the vehicle that I bought. Um, so I bought a truck for $1,000 that I paid personally. Now that truck gets used for business purposes. The business pays for the fuel expense.
Right.
So when I go to the gas station, I put gas in it with the company card, and that is a company expense. That's not me paying for it, that's the company paying for it. There you go, doing payroll for yourself as a nightmare as an owner. It truly is, which is why most of us don't do it. It's also why most of us misfile our taxes. We don't know what the hell we're doing. So if you're a small business owner and you file your taxes and you're not an accountant, you're a moron. um, Plain and simple. I know very well, and I was talking to a certified tax professional. Somebody that I know knows all this stuff, and I asked them specifically, what should I do about my taxes? Because we haven't been able to file our taxes this year. We couldn't afford it because all this stuff happened at just the wrong time. When it's a question of put food on the table or pay for a tax prep, you put food on the table. Well, then your taxes don't get done, and then you don't get stimulus money. That sucked. Bad call. Should have done the taxes. Um, so I'm trying to do my own taxes, and this tax professional tells me right off the bat, don't. If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna leave so much money on the table. It's not even funny. So I'm scraping together money to hire a tax professional to do my taxes for me again. And it's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to be the difference of, do we buy that 99-cent white bread or do we actually have some decent food in the house,
Yeah.
type of thing. And that's the decisions a lot of people are faced with right now. It sucks. It really does suck. But it is what it is. And a lot of people look back and they're like, well, I should have done this differently. Yeah, I should have. I should have been paying myself. Should have been drawing an hourly wage, even if it was, below minimum wage, because you can do that with your own business. You can draw $1 an hour. That's fine. Could I go back and figure some of this stuff out? Probably, but it still hasn't been filed yet. Still doesn't do me any good just yet.
Yeah.
So that's my rant on that for a little while.
Well, again, like I said, with this new, we won't know for sure until Monday or Tuesday is when uh, the actual bill is going to be introduced.
Hmm.
But um, one thing they have said is with the issues with the first stimulus, between people not getting it or it being taken for various reasons, um, they're trying to make this one more encompassing.
Hmm. Now that would also be great that if they do, but excuse me, here's where I have a problem. Putting our trust in Congress to do the right thing, to present a proper bill, not screw it up, not add a bunch of pork and riders and stuff like that onto it, and to get it through and have it actually um, presenting a bill and getting that into law is wonderful. Enforcing and enacting said law is where the real breakdown happens. And that's what showed with the first, what, three stimulus packages?
Yep.
Distribution of funds. We saw the rampant fraud involved with the first EIDLs and PPPs and stimulus checks and everything else like that. Nothing went where it was supposed to. well, I shouldn't say nothing. A lot of people actually got their money, and they got it in a fairly timely manner. Um, but the vast majority of the people in organizations and businesses that were supposed to be protected by these things failed miserably because there's no system in place to distribute said funds. And we've already touched about that. How do you get the money to the people?
Yeah.
So you can have all these lofty politicians actually write the most perfect bill ever, sign it into law, and it's voted on and signed into law, and everything is all hunky dory. And then getting that out, super problematic. So we'll see. So
Yeah.
we'll find out at the beginning of next week when it's actually introduced whether or not it goes through. Now here's another thing: it could be a perfect bill that's presented, and then it could get bogged down in the quagmire that is deliberations for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then a big old bloated package could get passed 2 weeks from now. Well, then you're 6 months later in economic recovery because you waited 2 weeks.
Well, and that's uh, basically what they're predicting is um, whatever happens, we're not going to see anything until probably the middle of June at the earliest.
Hmm.
Unfortunately for a lot of people, that is way too far away. But that's that's if things move pretty quickly. Like you said, if it gets bogged down for a couple weeks, it could be July.
Well, and of course you have to take into one more consideration. How are they, so getting back to the whole printing of all these debit cards and everything. So mass producing debit cards really isn't all that hard because they tend to be on blanks. There's a lot of blanks done where they just need to screen print it and on everything else like that. They're gonna have to put the signature on every one of those. Or they're all gonna have to come with a little printed letter with it too, so that we know who's responsible for it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I doubt the debit card idea will pass. Um, but it was one of the proposals.
Well, the debit card is actually, I hate to say, it's actually one of the better ideas. Um, so long as you get past that hurdle that I brought up of proving who is whom. How do you prove such and such is said individual? Um,
Yeah,
now with registered voters, not a big deal. Voter fraud, that's never really been a big issue. I know a lot of people like to think that it really was, but it wasn't. Proof of identity for stuff like that, if you're a registered voter, proving who you are is really not that hard. But situations like mine, I have a 23-year-old son who has no form of photo ID, or at least nothing valid, not since high school.
and at this point,
And
can't get one.
no, can't get one. Yeah, it's not like we can go up to the Department of Motor Vehicles and do something, or the only thing that we could do is his school ID from 4 years ago. This is the most recent photo ID we have of this kid. Um, whereas my 16-year-old daughter Shannon, she has a valid school ID from this year, so that's at least something we could do.
Yeah,
But Colin is problematic. Um, and then going to get those things, you can't do checks. You can't really do paper checks because a lot of people don't have. Um, they either don't have a physical address, or it's problematic getting them to and guaranteeing that those checks will actually get there. Plus, you got to print them all and then ship them all. So I don't know how you really do it. That's a logistical nightmare,
yeah.
no
Anyway,
matter how you look at it.
yeah, I was gonna say any way you look at it, it's gonna be problematic getting people their money. Um, I mean, as we saw with the first one, we're still seeing, uh, like you said, some people weren't scheduled to get theirs until August.
Yeah. Now, granted, I'm gonna make a very important point here. Those people who are not supposed to get their check until August from the original stimulus, they were the top tier. Like literally, if they made $100 more in a year, they wouldn't have gotten a stimulus check. It does the more money you make, the longer it takes you to get
Yeah.
your check. But that doesn't mean that those people who actually made more money had more money sitting around. This is a huge common misconception of, okay, so if you could get money for the stimulus check up to, what was it, 150,000
It
per
was
year?
for single individuals. It started dropping at 75. For married filing jointly, it was 109.
Okay.
And then
So,
yeah, I think
well,
it.
let's just go with a single person making $75,000 a year. So if you're making 75 grand, I mean, that's a sizable income. That's twice as much money as most people. Actually, that's more than twice what most people make. $14 an hour is $34,000 a year or something like that. That's a decent wage for where we live.
Yeah.
So if you're making 75 grand, you're living pretty large where we're living right now. You're probably living in a really nice house with a really nice mortgage. Like a $2,000 a month mortgage, which shouldn't have to be paid right now, but you're going to have to pay it eventually. You're probably driving a relatively nice car, like say a nice Ford F-250 that cost you 60 grand, that you're paying $800 a month on. Um, and all of your other expenses, you probably didn't have a lot of money in the bank. Now, let's say you did have $10,000 in the bank. You thought you were sitting pretty, and when everybody shut down and you stopped getting a paycheck, you didn't claim it because you figured it was going to be all over before then, or um, you felt pretty entitled and you were going to be good to go, and then you started buying things and you blew through your $5,000 in a heartbeat. Because in a period of 6 weeks, you overspent like crazy. Well, now you've got nothing. And to file for unemployment now is a god-awful nightmare.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Uh, I have a couple friends that actually do fairly well, and they're still doing fairly well because the husband actually has an essential job, so he hasn't been out of work, and the wife is she's a content provider on YouTube with 1 million subscribers to her channel. Yes, 1 million. Lives literally right up on top of the hill behind my house. Didn't even realize this woman lived so close. Um, does really well for that. So when they got their stimulus check, because she wasn't doing as well last year as she is this year, they actually gave their stimulus check to people in need. I thought this was actually pretty cool. So they got stimulus checks. Both she and her husband got stimulus checks. They went to the local food bank and specifically asked them, what items do you need the most? And then they ordered from Amazon all of these items in huge quantities to be delivered right to the food bank. So they basically gave their stimulus checks to a local food pantry to feed people in need without letting anybody know that they were being helped or anything else like that. So they weren't looking for um, fame or for anything else like that for it, or recognition, and they didn't want people to know that it was them that did it. So you get an extra box of rice-a-roni at the food bank, it might have come from them. Or you got Star-Kissed tuna instead of whatever the really cheap version is.
Yeah.
Whatever they did. So they actually did something really cool with it. Well, then he got laid off. because while even though he had an essential employee's position, the company was losing so much money for lack of business that they couldn't afford to put anybody out there.
I have to interrupt you.
Go for
Uh,
it.
Lord Sputicus just donated $6.69 to the channel.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We all know that the Sputicus is good. I was laughing at my dancing reaper again.
Sorry, ball bounces. What do you want to say there?
Uh, he actually doesn't have his sound on. So
I was
yeah,
going back to chat though.
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
he's just.
Just yapping away in there. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I didn't. He said something about people shouldn't have been in quarantine. I didn't even address it.
What's my donation link? Oh crap! I have to find my donation link. Hold on a second.
Oh,
I totally forgot what mine is.
oh, stop. Come on.
All right, there's my channel. Here's my tipping page. There you go. There's Big Papa Timo's
Yay.
stream elements. It's actually something I hardly ever use anymore. So here's the other funny thing. So you guys know I've been hitting it really hard over there on Facebook Gaming, and 1,200 followers later, I'm actually I'm doing pretty good over here. I'm having a good time. I'm getting some really good interactions and stuff. I've been streaming way too much though. I really need to get out of the house. Um, but Stream Elements is great, and you know I love Stream Elements, and I love OBS and everything else like that is great. But Facebook has been going through so many changes recently with their gaming system that they keep like turning different things on and off. And Deavante's a perfect example of this. So Deavante's been with me on the Facebook gaming page since day one because you know he's been super awesome and loyal to us. You know, here on the Mid-Lunch Crisis, on my YouTube channel, your YouTube channel, all of our friends' YouTube channels. So when I started the Facebook gaming page, he was right over there with me, even though he told me right off the bat he hates Facebook gaming and the Facebook interface for his phone, and I get it. So he was my first top fan over there, and Facebook gave out badges for people like that. So Deavante had a top fan badge in his chat, and Facebook decided in their infinite wisdom to take all of those badges away from everyone because they're revamping their badge system or some silly crap like that. And so Deavante points it out one day in chat, and I'm like, well, that sucks. I'll look into that a little bit. And sure enough, all the top fans across all of Facebook lost theirs. Yeah, and it was just one of those goofy things. Well, I lost reactions. So like when somebody gives you a thumbs up on a YouTube video, if you've got it set up in your OBS, you can have it pop up with a reaction notice. You know, or on Facebook Gaming, you can actually have it say, Deavante likes this stream, or you know, Joe Blow started following your page, or you know, so and so shared your stream. So it does the shares, it does the stars, which are the monetary donations, it does the follows, and it does the page likes. But if somebody likes your stream, it doesn't do it. So it's been pissing me off. Because I like to thank everybody as they go. You know, it gives me the notification. I'm like, oh, hey, thanks for liking the stream. Really appreciate it. No, so it's removed half of my interaction with my followers. Just like, Facebook, you suck sometimes. You really suck. Been lurking. I only agree with quarantine long enough to allow the medical places to get resources to cope with potential patient influx. Okay. Those that will recover can without aid. Those that will die, well, they're gonna die at some point in time. This is Darwinism right off the bat.
Yeah.
Um, that would include me, brother, says Mary Lizzie, and we don't want anything to happen to Mary Lizzie. You don't know that for sure. True, you don't, but you also don't know if you're gonna die walking out your front door. That's the whole argument to, am I gonna get struck by a bus? Walking into the store, is somebody gonna cough on you and give you the Rona? Or are you gonna catch lung cancer from the 3 packs of cigarettes you smoke every day for the last 30 years?
Yeah.
There are plenty of people that worked in the shipyards around asbestos, didn't get a lick of lung cancer. And then there are the people that worked in the office across the street that just happen to be near the people walking by with a little bit of asbestos on their clothes, got lung cancer real bad. So, yeah. The whole thing is what if banter. Very true. Very, very true.
Yep. We're just talking.
Natural don't exist anymore. Sure it does. Natural exists. Lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning's natural causes. Heart attacks natural causes too, though. And I can speak from personal experience on that one. Heart attacks suck, by the way. That was actually, you were asking for updates. That was something that is an update in my life. So I was running without my meds for a month there because ran out of prescriptions, couldn't afford to go see the doctor and everything. Called for some local aid, and there's a charitable organization here run by a church that covered my doctor's visit. So I had my doctor's visit online, which was really, really weird. Meeting with your doctor via video chat, a doctor you've never met before, who ironically, when I need to get a refill of my prescription, will not be there anymore because she's due to deliver her baby in like 2 days. So I got a new doctor. She won't be there for me ever again, but I got medications. But yeah, so I got back on my meds, and that's all sorts of fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Death by human malware.
Now, my pharmacy just is basically auto-filling everything, and they actually deliver them too, which is nice.
See, mine will do that too, but my pharmacy is literally a block and a half away from the house. So I always feel bad making somebody deliver a block and a half down the road. I'll just get my lazy butt up. I walk up the street. It gets me out of the house, but I do feel like a bandito when I do it because I'm wearing a blue bandana every time.
It was actually kind of funny. I got a call from my doctor's office. I think it was Monday. Or no, it was Friday. I ended up not calling them back until Monday. But she asked me, she said, "Are you still taking," and I don't even remember what the medication is, but I said, I don't know. You'd have to ask my wife because she handles all that. Basically, she just tells me what to take and when to take it. And I said, why did that do that? I said, if the pharmacy's filling it, then I'm taking it. She said, when you came in to see the doctor at the beginning of the year, he had stopped this medication and the pharmacy just sent over a request for a refill. And I said, well, then I'm not taking it. Well, basically what the pharmacy had done was just did an autofill of everything, and this one apparently was still in the system.
Now, see, I'm kind of cool with that, but also not cool with that. because people might be taking medications they're not supposed to if they're auto just refilling. Now, the big question is, I guess that's assuming you still have valid prescriptions for things like refills.
Yeah, that's
See,
um,
that's where I ran into the problem. My prescriptions are for a year at a time. So it forces me to go see the doctor every year and let them know how my heart is doing.
yeah.
It's like, all right, I don't want to go to the doctor. And like, you got to come to the doctor and get your scripts. So I'm having a little bit of trouble with it because being off of my anti-anxiety meds for a month um, really messed with me a little bit there. And getting back on them is getting a little bit goofy. Just take some time. And hey, just in case we have any moms out there watching, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, yeah. I think we all need a little bit of Andrew's anti-anxiety medication. Speaking of certain medications, um, one of the big things about having a commercial driver's license is uh, being required to pass drug tests pretty regularly.
Hmm.
Um,
Well,
and
Big Papa Timo has received a donation of $6.69 as well.
ooh,
Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
so
So drug
basically,
test.
yeah, drug test. Before I go back to work, I'm supposed to go and take a random drug test. Company policy, and with the current situation, they called everybody back without a single drug test.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting.
So they just figured since everybody's sitting at home, a lot of people are probably sitting there smoking a lot of weed, and it's gonna take a little while to get out of their system.
Probably.
Yeah, well, and so here's where I really couldn't care less what consenting adults do with their time so long as it doesn't hurt or harm anybody else. So you want to do something like that and your own home, sitting around the backyard, having a fire with the family, have a little, little smoky or whatever, power to you. Um, but the businessman in me sits there and goes, you guys probably get some government contracts that is required to maintain licensing and operational status. Um, so it's kind of cool that they don't want, the people that they know that have been sitting at home for 2 months stressed out like crazy might need a good smoke and they might need 2 weeks to get it out of their system. But, I think it would have been funny if they said, all right, guys, you got 30 days. Stop studying for your drug tests.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to be administering new drug tests in 30 days. Or something like that. That I could totally get behind. I could totally get behind that. Speaking of the devil's kids just gave me a card.
Ah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say speaking of the devil kids just gave you a joint. What? Happy Mother's Day. Joys of living it in that it's perfectly legal for you. It's all right. It's perfectly legal for me to break the law. Luckily, my boss is a total ass and never gives me drug tests. Oh wait, that's me.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny with as long as I've been self-employed and the fact that, I know I'm not going to get a drug test. You'd think that I would do stuff like that, but no, I don't. Nope.
The joys of living in Canada. Well, Neil, you know, you can have that. I'll keep my guns.
Plenty of Canadians have guns.
Not for much longer. Well, I can't say that. They will be able to have certain types of guns, but Canada just banned a lot of guns last week or the week before.
Well, see, that also comes with, not being the same type of government that we are.
Yeah.
If they had kicked the crap out of the British, then, they would have wanted their guns too.
Yeah, not very happy. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be either. I actually just received a pistol that I have been waiting on for months. Basically, I ordered it right when all of this started happening,
Yeah.
and availability tanked. And literally just got it on Friday. Basically, I ordered it right. I know this is riveting entertainment, sitting here watching me load these trucks, but
Totally.
so with that pistol coming in, that's actually the last piece that I was waiting for to start practicing for
The zombie apocalypse?
3-gun competitions.
I gotcha.
Basically, what 3-gun is it's rifle, shotgun, pistol, and they have courses set up, and you have various targets and obstacles, stuff like that. And this is my competition ready pistol.
Right.
Which actually is illegal in some states. That driver loading the gravel, he's drug tested. Has to be stoned, sitting there all day loading the truck. Yeah, right.
It's a lot of stone going on there. Alright, so speaking of all these medications and everything, I realized it is past noon. I need to go take my meds. I will be back in just a few moments, guys.
All right. Yeah, Neil. Yeah, the shotgun. And even the assault rifle ban, they kind of went too far with that. Technically, assault rifles were already banned. The definition of an assault rifle is a weapon capable of firing full auto. And that's a lot of the misconception in the U.S. too. Um, the AR-15 gets a lot of press, and people think it's considered an assault rifle because it looks like one, but it's not. People even think the AR stands for assault rifle, and it does not. It actually stands for Armalite. Yeah, and Andrew's actually absolutely correct. It's a ban on how it looks. I'm glad you got your sound back on there, Paul. Yeah, see, I have an AR. I have an AR-15. Well, Bar, you also have to, or Ball, you also have to consider that the Canadian government is different. Canada is technically not a democracy. Yeah, I have an AR-15. Uh, my next one is actually going to be an AR-10. I cannot list. Well, I can actually, but you guys don't want me to list all of my guns, and I'm not going to in a public forum. Yeah, technically that's true. Timo says we're not a democracy either. Nope, we just play one on TV. Yeah, I'd like to have a Barrett. I'd like to have a Barrett BFG, but I don't have 10 grand to spend on one. Now, the next rifle that I will be purchasing is actually at the gun store yesterday. We were talking about it. It it won't shoot 2 miles, but it will shoot one without any trouble. Yeah, currently on sale. Now, Andrew, I have those guns. I have my personal protection guns. Uh, the ones that are here for defense. But I also have competition guns. Like I said, the one that I got yesterday was it's strictly a competition piece. It's not. I mean, obviously it could be used for self defense, but that's not what it's for. Same thing with the next rifle that I'm looking at. It's not for any purpose other than long range competition shooting. No one questions your 18 gauge 80,000. 80,000 what ball? Semi of Fury. I'm still not quite following.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
So, I have 3 coffee cups downstairs in front of the coffee maker. And there's no coffee.
Somebody.
Son of a biscuit. Somebody drank all the coffee. Pass the juice. Alright, so... Holy crap, that's a lot of friends requests.
Sorry, guys. I haven't figured out.
Friends requests.
I have not figured out an easy way to mute my microphone yet. I can mute it for Timo pretty quickly, but not for you guys.
All right, so you're doing everything through PC. Have you thought about using one of the soundboards?
Yes, I have. I just have not ordered one yet because I kind of want.
So they have. Do you have a tablet?
Yes.
They
Well,
have soundboard apps that you can run off your tablet.
which would have to be connected to the computer.
It would have to be running OBS through it. As long as it was hooked up to the same network that your computer is, you should be able to do it. And I'm pretty sure that they have mute buttons that you can integrate into those as well. Might be something to look into.
Yeah, because I have the desktop that I'm playing and streaming with. I have.
Because soundboards are expensive, kids.
Yeah.
Those things are not cheap. You might as well buy another Elgato for the price of a...
Well, what I was actually looking at, and I probably should have already gotten it, but I didn't, was a new headset. The Astro A40. Oh, crap. Not what I wanted to do. Um, and that actually, the A40 actually comes with a soundboard. Well, not exactly a soundboard, but a mixer.
Yeah.
Hot key at OBS. The problem with
Oh crap.
the prob yeah, the problem with the
Sorry,
hotkey,
just caught the stream lag on that one.
yeah, is finding a key
You
that
missed.
doesn't. Yeah, I did miss. Well, do you see the size of the bucket versus the size of the
I
truck?
do. I love the fact that you're still using the Tonka toy. And that holds what, 2 million liters in the back
Yes.
of that truck?
Yeah, 2 million
And
liters,
the bucket of your scoop holds what?
36,000. The problem, yeah, is I need to do what Andrew said and use a combination of keys in OBS. Um, Something that doesn't activate another
Function.
function. Yeah, I really want a Stream Deck. But you want to talk about expensive. The Stream Deck cost more than the Elgato.
Yep.
Yeah, Andrew. Like I said, that's what I need to do. I need to use a combination of keys. Yes, my mic is USB. I actually have a mouse that has. I switched. I didn't want Timo complaining about my squeaky mouse, so I switched to my new one. That came with my keyboard. It doesn't have as many buttons, but it still has 7. Alright. Andrew's going to go look at sub $100 mixers. Yeah, I was talking about that my next rifle that I'm going to be purchasing. It's for long range competition shooting. I have to, in order to shoot it, I have to drive all the way out to Camp Perry, Ohio.
Wait, what?
There's nowhere around here that has a range big enough.
Gotcha.
Um, and even Camp Perry, Ohio, their range is only 1,000 yards. Devontae said, I missed my 16 channel mixing board, got destroyed in the humidity after moving to Florida. Yeah. Oh, Andrew actually goes to the Camp Perry shooting range, apparently. maybe we'll have to work something out when the weather warms up. And I save up enough money to get the gun and the scope to go with it. The gun itself I can get for just a little over $1,500 is what the gun shop's going to give it to me for.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the scope is about the same price. Yeah. I'll bring out a few of mine.
I'm saving all my ammo.
I get really good deals on ammo. That's one of the perks of being friends with the owners of gun store.
Yeah.
Not only do they give me really good prices, but I also get first choice. Maybe we're waiting on more specific, a specific type of 5.56 ammo. And as soon as it comes in, he's already going to be putting back some for me. Why did I stop loading with the other vehicle? Well, because that happened. And that unfortunately that bucket is just way too big for this truck, and the conveyor. As long as we can hunt the fabled Oreo jackalope. I missed once. Get another conva? Well, I have to clean that up first. It's the problem really is that tower right there, that light tower, it's in the way. I'm gonna have to reposition everything. I'll get another conveyor.
There's a whole lot of morons playing Apex today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not fun. I had the Oreo jackalope. But do you do it with a spud gun?
Oh, the potato cabra. Actually, I didn't put that light there. It's part of the map.
Now, did you ever determine if that stuff respawns?
I have not yet. I should actually just ask the map creator. Uh-oh. Andrew's been getting into map creation.
Uh-oh.
Uh, it doesn't have headlights. Yeah, it does. I just didn't turn them on. Yeah. See, it's got headlights. No, I didn't want to throw it. I want to get in it. Yeah. Each truck into space. Oops. Keep your eyes on the roads, kids. Speaking of, I think I might take my son out for his first driving lesson today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
It's just gonna be parking lot.
Still, it's a little scary.
It is a little scary. Now, one thing I was not expecting with that, adding him as a permitted driver did not increase my insurance at all.
Really?
Yeah, That's actually kind of, he's had his permit for a couple months now, and that's actually why I've been waiting was uh, till I went back to work. But it did not increase my insurance any.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah. The sound's off? No, I have the camera backed up. I'm far away. If I move in, you can hear the sound. Why are you not dumping like you're supposed to? No. No, he doesn't have to go to driving school. In Pennsylvania, excuse me for just a second. Oh, sorry about that. In Pennsylvania, the only thing he has to do is complete 50 hours of driver training with a licensed driver and have his permit for 6 months. Yes, ball it could. Not like it normal in real life. A trailer this long would tip over pretty easily. This one does not. Excuse me. I need to. Well, that gives me all of that. We shall buy it. We need another loader. 1.1. So we're gonna have to sell some gold. Your sim is on lockdown and everyone. Yeah. Yep. Farming simulators in quarantine. So I don't have to worry about anybody else on the road. Now this thing tips over pretty easily. I could, but I don't need to. Devontae said I could use the government subsidy signs. I could. Yeah, it seems every time I look over at chat, I run. If there's a tree nearby, I run into it. Jesus. Come on. Welcome back, Mary. No, Galaxy. Sorry. I just glanced over and saw the blue.
We don't assume genders here. We don't assume genders. Or status of marry or not marry.
Yeah.
Galaxy may be married. Wish people Merry Christmas all the time. Have a Merry Christmas.
All right.
No.
There we go.
Not over here. Morons. It's like everybody forgot how to play Apex today.
Put the truck down. There we go. Now we have enough to buy the loader. Yeah. Picks up, pickup, carries them back to the work site. Andrew, that would depend on how many times I flip it over on the way there. Yeah, that's Timo. up there directing.
Oh, come on.
Let's try this way then. There we go. You know what the funny thing is I was actually doing almost this exact thing at work on Friday. We're getting, since we're actually not chipping yet, we're trying to get the jobs we have lined up ready to go. And we had a job down by New Kensington that they want the roads chipped, but they want it done with two different kinds of stone. So I had to take a loader down there, and as the trucks were bringing in the stone, I had to mix it and pile it up. And then the fire department, where we're putting the stone, and we have stockpiled our stone there for quite a few years now, came out when I was almost finished and asked me if I could move 400 tons of stone 20 feet to the right. It's like, sure, no problem. That's not going to take 4 hours. I need diesel for this. And I have none. I need to. Come on. There we go. Need to go grab a mod real quick.
What mod are you getting?
The one, there's a trailer that goes with this map that allows me to haul crude.
Mm-hmm.
And I need that in order to make the diesel I need to run that plant. I keep forgetting to go and get it. And where did it go? Let's try something else.
I've come to retrieve your cases, and you're also getting any more filters. She's filling 2 upstairs. There's your other one. There's 3 upstairs. And this one. So those 2 are good.
And now I cannot find the trailer that I need.
Damn it. Twiggy, what's up, hon? How you doing?
Hey, Twiggy. Let's do it this way then. Interesting. So what I'm looking for, the creator of this map made a special trailer.
Yes, this is what happened.
Oh, it's in the machinery pack. Gotcha.
Machinery pack?
Yeah, he made a machinery pack mod that comes with a barge, a couple other things. And apparently that is where the trailer that I need is.
Hey, you realize we're watching Discord, right?
And there's a Hail Sputicus.
Hey, Sputicus.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Like and subscribe.
Andrew gets it. So if you guys aren't already, go and join my Discord. Is hopefully right there. Yep, there's a link to my Discord. And for all your Facebook Farming Simulator related content, or it could possibly be, yeah, there it is. Come back here. There we go. Why no subscribe? I have to quit the game real quick.
No, don't quit the Discord game. What will we watch?
Apparently Steam has decided that I need to download something. Now, let's see if that trailer is in here. Yep, right there. The diesel semi-trailer. You see a rat rod. Did Twiggy post something that I didn't see? There you guys go. There's yes. Now all of you go subscribe. Is it not going to switch? Yeah. It's alright. I'm back in the game now. And I need a trailer. So I added a bot to my Discord
Yeah.
that gives us the ability to play games and post memes and all sorts of stupid stuff. All right, Andrew. I'm sure I will catch up with you later on. I won't be on too late tonight because I do have to get up and go to work in the morning. Thanks again for the donation, by the way. That's
Yeah, man.
pretty sweet.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but that's just because you're eating potato chips. That's why it's crunch time. Hail Spartacus. Potato. It is its own food group. That's McChickens right there. That's what that is. That's
Oh.
McChickens.
So what do you got planned for streams today, Timo?
Absolutely nothing, actually. I'm done for the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm trying to flip my sleep schedule.
Ah.
What the? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I did 14 hours of streaming yesterday and this morning, so
Ooh.
I woke up at 8 p.m. last night. My goal is to go to bed at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Wake up at 10 o'clock tonight. Then tomorrow, kick it back another 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then another 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we're going to be wrapping it up pretty close to 2 o'clock. I've got some stuff I want to get done. Like I said, I got to look at the wife's car. I'd really like to get the wheels pulled off the motorcycles.
So how many bikes do you have now?
2.
2?
Yep. They are both 1985 Honda Goldwings.
Nice.
My original plan was to keep one and sell one. And I think I have decided to sell them both. And buy something newer. But I'm also waiting to see kind of what happens with this whole stimulus thing before I commit to getting rid of both of them. Do they have golden wings? Technically they do.
Take these golden wings.
Technically they do have golden wings. They have little golden wing emblems on the front and the back. Is tar production. Which goes there. Oh, I need, in order to make biodiesel, I need corn. That's right. And it is over here. making diesel. And we're making tar. And we're throwing trucks. The new anti-gravity Freightliner. Oh yeah, Devontae, no worries, man. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Devontae's got to head out.
Right on, brother.
like I said, we're gonna be wrapping it up here soon. I know Timo's tired. I got some things to get done. Still have to go hunt down the tires. I have not found them yet.
You still haven't found tires?
Well, I haven't looked for them since I restarted. I believe they're over here. Yep. Well, I haven't actually. Excuse me. Hey, tires are free apparently. right, Twiggy. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Again, I'm sure I'll catch up with you later on,
Nice.
too.
Hey, Twiggy. See you later, hon. Sorry, I found like one.
Oh, nice.
Had a teammate that was not a moron. And one that was. I think I'm going to end that for the Apex.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
End on a high note.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after I get these tires delivered, that's probably a pretty good place to call it.
So, where were the tires?
They're right where they're supposed to be. It was just that for some reason somebody edited this map, and I had a bad version. There's a scrapyard that you go and pick up tires from.
Gotcha.
They're right where they're supposed to be. It was just that for some reason somebody edited this map, and I had a bad version. There's a scrapyard. That's right. I gotta open the little.
You're going to open what?
I have to open the little hatch here. Before I can dump the tires in. There we go. What's up, Tragic?
Tragic trucker in the house.
We're actually just getting ready to finish up there, buddy.
Perfect timing.
What's up, Tragic?
He is processing tires.
I am. I have tires processing. I have corn processing for diesel. I have had crude processing. It's now all been converted into tar.
Now, Tragic, isn't Mother's Day really about the guy, though? For making them the mother? Because the guy got some. It's like, kudos, bro, you scored. Kidding. Totally kidding.
Way to go, Timo, for making a day just for mothers.
Making Mother's Day misogynistic?
Yep,
Heck
yep.
yeah, man. Yeah, leave it to me. Leave it to me. If anybody's going to make an inappropriate comment, it's going to be me.
All right. Well, I want to tell everybody thanks for hanging out while we rant and rave and play some Farming Simulator.
Among other things.
Yeah. Well, Timo, you want to go ahead and take us out of here?
Sure. Everybody's been fun. Have a happy Mother's Day. It's been amazing. Another glorious day on the tubes of you with my buddy Fear the Reaper. This has been the Mid-Lunch Crisis, and until next time, haul your own damn tires.